Morning everyone, it is Monday morning and we are back at the ploughing. We are just trying to get this field here ploughed, get it ready for getting some seed in the ground over the next couple of days. I turn around this way, you might be able to see me better with the sun. Yeah, getting on well with it. Done about 5 hours ploughing in it yesterday. We've probably ploughed it now about 4 hours, 3-4 hours today, and we're well on with it. We've only got, you can see it here yourself, a section here up to the far ditch. There's probably about 4 acres left in it, so we've got about 20, there's about 20, I think it's 23 or 4 acres in this field altogether. So yeah, going well at it. A couple more hours we finish it down to the headlands. We have to get lime spread in this field, so we're not just ready to get drilling in it yet. Lime hopefully is coming in a couple of hours time, so get a bit of footage of that out if I can. But yeah, making good headway. There is quite a bit of both grass and wheat. Alright, phone went dead there. As I was saying, we were a bit late acquiring this land, and it just meant that we weren't able to get it burnt off when we would have liked. We'd like to have it burnt off a little bit earlier, but it is all dying off. A lot of grass, especially in this area here, seems to be a lot of bits of grass and stuff like that, and there's some weeds through it, some docks. We can see them all bent over there where they've been sprayed. So yeah, the fact now that they are dying and it's ploughed down, it should be a good enough job. There is some red shank here as well in this area, and there's another spot down the bottom has a bit of that. So again, gonna have to keep an eye on it as the crop comes off, make sure those weeds don't start to come up with it, and if they do, we'll have to spray it accordingly. But yeah, making good headway. As I say, lime going out in a while, and I'll be back over here and get a bit of footage as the lime goes out. So yeah, I'm gonna head home now. Gonna get the seed loaded up in the trailer, start to get stuff ready for drilling, and yeah, I'll take you along with me. just after we got all the seed filled into the drill, Walls arrived to spread the lime, so very well timed. They come right on time. Walls have a merchants here in Dundalk. They are based in Northern Ireland originally, but they opened a merchants in Dundalk a few years back, and they do the lime spread, and they've spread lime for us now a few times, and very good, great setup. You can see here the lorry reverses in, and there's a conveyor then that it empties onto. The lime travels up the conveyor into the spreader, and away you go. So works very well. The couple of things with lime spreading, two things that you wanted land to be reasonably dry, because it causes a lot of compaction if it's wet. That's for one. And the other thing is, the lime spreader, because you're carrying a lot of weight, it causes quite a bit of compaction, and we'll see that a little bit later in the video where we have to address that. But the other thing that you want it not to be too windy, and we were fairly blessed on the day that we spread it here, because it wasn't windy. You'll see now once he turns on the spreader, it wasn't blowing all around the place. I have seen lime spread before, and in windy conditions, and it really looks like you only get maybe the half of it, or your neighbour gets the other half, because it just blows away. But we're quite lucky with the weather. You can see now once he turns it on, it's not blowing away. It's just it stays there, hangs around directly behind the tractor. So that's what you're behind the spreader, and that's what you want to see. But only putting on a couple of tons of the acre. It wasn't too bad, but it was a little bit short. We did get lime test done. We tested all the ground that we were putting cereals into, and just to be sure. And this was the only field that there was an issue where it was a little bit short. So there is the other field where we put the wheat is just borderline, but it's okay for this year, so maybe we'll do it next year. But great to get the lime out, and this being done, it was very much pivotal. It meant that we were able to start drilling then straight away after this went out. So great. Alright, so this is still day one after we started drilling when the lime was spread. So we're making nice headway at this point. It's probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. It's just starting to get dark, and going well. I'd say in around 10-12 acres sown at this stage, so we're making nice headway. One of the bonuses with the lime being spread was, you can see the marker. It's leaving a smashing line for you to follow. Even in the dark, there was no issue seeing it at all. So that was definitely a plus. The one thing that wasn't a plus, I mentioned it earlier, was compaction. The spreader did compact the ground quite a bit, and Dad was noticing when he started running on the tracks that had been left from the lime spreader, that even though the power harrow was down into them and it was taking a little bit of soil with it, it just wasn't burying the seed as nicely as what it should. So what we done was, I just went straight home, hooked the plough off. We have an old tine cultivator which is in very good nick, hitched it on and come straight over, and here I am now just cultivating up those tracks. It took a little bit of time, just I suppose about an hour or maybe a little bit more than an hour, just to run up and down every single track that there was. It definitely was a worthwhile exercise, because you could see a huge difference when you were running then on the drill, when you were running up where I cultivated it, rather than just on the the marks left from the lime spreader. The only downside I could say was that those springtime cultivators, they do pull up a lot of stones, and even though a lot of that ground had no stones, when you got over near where we were finishing off, there had been work done on the ground before. There was a wet spot that I remember from a number of years ago that it had been drained, but you could see that when you got over there and I was running it, it was pulling up a lot of stones. But look, not the end of the world, it's just one of those things. But yeah, so you can see there's quite a few runs up and down, and yeah, that's why I was so time consuming. But at this point I'm coming near the end anyway, so not too bad. Yeah, so that is this part of the video. Alright, so I'm up on the first piece of land that we sowed almost a couple of weeks ago now, the wheat, and it is, as you can see above my shoulder, established itself fairly well. Didn't think it'd be just as far on as it is, but yeah, it's coming up nicely. There's a nice green haze just coming across it there when you look across the field. You can see it comes right up to a point here. It's greener than along the ditch, along the headland, and that's because the headland on this side was sown a little bit later. So you can basically see that line down there where this was sown one day later, and that day has made quite a difference. So yeah, glad to have it established on where it is, because a couple of years ago, the last time we put wheat in this, it didn't just establish itself far enough, and it was alright. The seed had germinated, you had a little bit growing out of it, maybe up to about an inch, and it kind of sat then over the whole winter. But what happened was the crows came in and they kept attacking it the whole winter. They'll dig down, they'll find the seed, and once they get to know that if they dig down along where the plant has grown up, they'll find the seed and they'll eat the seed and leave the bit of a plant there just to wither away. So it needed to get in a little bit earlier. It does cause issues having it in earlier, where you can have maybe flies attack it, aphids, stuff like that. So we have to keep an eye on it then, just to see if that maybe goes the other way and we have issues with it on that side. But we're going to take a chance on it, putting it in early, and hopefully it works out okay. But nice to see it all up and above ground. Okay, going to get the banger over to the next field, and we get it into position and get rid of the crows that's in it, because the crows are attacking the crop there. So it never ends. Alright, so banger is set up. It's going to go off actually. So banger is set up. It's down here on the wheat field that we sowed last week, and the issue that we had was crows were all gathering up here on top of the hill and feasting on whatever bit of grain that there was up there, whatever they could find. So it's been on there for 3-4 hours and no sign of any crows at all, which is what you want to see. The only things you need to set on it is there's a little time clock, works on the battery. You just have to set that what time it comes off and switches on it, so it's not banging away the whole night. Have it set to come on around 8 in the morning, goes off around 6:30 in the evening, so that's fairly good time wise. And then the interval between it going off, between bangs, want that around 5-6 minutes. So I think I have it set fairly well at that. Let's just come down to check to see that I need to adjust it, but it seems okay. So all is good, and hopefully everything keeps working. It's a new tank of gas on it, so it should stay working over the next number of days, and we leave this on it probably for about a week or so, just until it starts to emerge and gets up above ground, a week or 10 days. So yeah, that's it. Alright, so it's the next morning. We've had a lot of rain overnight, not what we wanted to see, but it did stop early on. It started raining around 9 o'clock last night, and it rained I think till around 1, on and off on showers. Some of them got quite heavy a few times, so we've had a lot of rain during the night. It's drying out nicely, sun is out, and we should be able to get back on in a couple of hours time. It's just after 9 o'clock in the morning. We're here spreading dung. We have a mix of chicken dung and farmyard manure. It's probably a rate of about a third is farmyard manure and the rest is chicken dung. Putting it out at about 4 tonnes to the acre roughly on this bit of ground, and yeah, shouldn't take too long to get it out. Yeah, it's nice stuff. It's going to have a nice smell in here. We're in Dundalk near the graveyards, we're in town, so the residents are going to be kicking up, but we hope to get this ploughed down at some stage either tomorrow or on Thursday, so we'll see how we get on. Today's Tuesday, so yeah, making good headway. We'll push on and get this done. I'll send the drone up, just get a small bit of footage because we've seen a bit of dung spreading last week or the week before, and yeah, we'll move on into the next job.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? I criticized myself for trusting lies. I know I can't hide, 'cause then I'd be alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I'm enough. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love?
Alright, we're making headway at last. We were a bit slow to get going this morning. Rain heavier than what I thought. I mentioned earlier on when I was doing the dung that it rained a bit. It rained a lot more than what I thought. So we've had to wait. I thought we would have got going maybe around 11 o'clock. We didn't get going until the afternoon. We got going maybe about 2:30, 3. It's a great day, great breeze, great drying. But it just needed those extra number of hours just to get it dry enough and for to be able to travel okay, that you weren't mucking it in. But it is lovely and dry. It's as good as it was yesterday, and yeah, just lucky that it's a good day. Want to get this finished this evening, or even if we do a few hours in the morning. It's going to be raining tomorrow from dinner time, and it's looking now, it was forecast to be good all week. It's not looking great now for the rest of the week, so get this finished will not be too bad. If there is some late showers, we might get the 12 acres that we spread the dung undone. We'll get that done the next couple of days and just drill straight behind the plough. So yeah, we're pushing on. We're going to try and get this finished today anyway. Alright, we're just back in the yard. We're all finished up. You can see the tractor and drill here behind me in the shed. 6.9 on the ploughs, home also, and the teleporter on the trailer with the seed on it. So everything's back in the yard. It's just after 10 p.m, so we've worked on until we had it got it finished, and we're absolutely delighted with that done, because It's the field we were nearly most worried about. That field, and then the other 28 acres of wheat that we got in a couple of weeks ago in Kilcurry. They're the two we were really worried about, because we knew that if it turned wet that there was going to be an issue with them. But we have them in dry conditions, and especially that one, we had to plough it, get it all ploughed, and then get the lime out in it. And if there had to be a delay with the lime and then the weather to turn on you, you could end up with a mucky mess. So happy to have it in good conditions. It's to stay dry tomorrow, so probably, if I can, we'll ring roll it, and that's if it stays dry. If we get up in the morning, it could be raining, so if it's dry in the morning, we'll get it ring rolled, and that'll be another field done and dusted and out of the way. So we're making good progress. We still have 30 acres in one field, and then 12 out in Dundalk to sow as well, and maybe 5 more too. So we'll see how we get on. Dundalk is where I spread the dung today, so it's ready now to plough. So we'll probably get it done at some stage before the end of the week, and the 30 acres that's left, we'll do it next week. So we're making good progress. But yeah, that's it. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the sub button, to ring the little bell for notification every time I post a video, to hit the like button. That always helps the video. If you haven't done it, just pop down and do it there for me. And comment. Any questions, any comments to make, drop them in the comment section down below, and if I don't reply back to it, I always read them anyway. So yeah, that's it for tonight. Tired, time for a cup of tea, and then an early night, I think. See you in the next one.